At the start of the Be Braver Practitioner programme, we ask our cohort to think about the opposite of choosing to be braver. So what the absence of courage looks like, the opposite of it feels like, and what they know of its enemies. We hear things like no progress, the same situations reappearing, feeling insignificant, being demoralised, disappointed, weakness, despondency, silence, isolation, regret, frustration. A mixture of feelings, thoughts and behaviours. We also ask our cohorts to think about where professionally they need courage and bravery. We'll hear things such as offering advice, insight and assurance to those with power and influence over my career, challenging senior individuals, speaking truth to power, speaking up when something is wrong, giving and receiving difficult feedback or any feedback, having tough conversations with difficult leaders, standing by my decision, taking control when things don't go to plan. And when we look to name and understand the emotion attached to these examples, we find vulnerability, which is the emotion of choice we experience during times of uncertainty, risk and emotional exposure. The fear of not belonging, of being ostracised, of not being enough, not fitting in, humiliation, shame. And let's be clear, vulnerability doesn't discriminate on the basis of seniority or by hierarchy. If there is a risk and uncertainty to be found, there will be the vulnerability that comes with emotional exposure, no matter who you are or where you sit. And what do we do when we want to avoid the discomfort? Well, we avoid it, we procrastinate, we hide, we stay silent, do the same, do nothing, people please. All the behaviours that we know our organisations don't want. We don't want them from our teams, and we certainly don't want to be modelling them to others around us. And yet there it is, the behavioural outcome of not choosing courage, where avoiding personal development becomes the enemy of business development, where the emotional discomfort we don't know how to handle hijacks our growth and hinders our futures. Finally, on our introductory session, we ask our cohorts, what does being brave and courageous look and feel like? And here we hear things like being able to speak without fear and judgment, speaking up, being open and honest, standing behind my values, telling the truth, being in control, facing my fears, self-belief, self-assured. When we create connection to the information available to us, when we create the space to explore with curiosity and compassion the feelings and responses of not only ourselves but others too, we find what it is that we need to choose courage, to be braver. We find that when we have the clarity to make values-aligned decisions, when we have the confidence to trust our knowledge and experience, the connection to the sources of our strength and resilience, we understand that in assessing the personal risk that we perceive to the self, we often ignore the risks we do to our sense of self in not choosing courage. We understand that standing behind our values offers us the self-belief to know that choosing courage is the only decision that will ever move us forward. That no matter what the outcome, you will be stronger, bolder, and further forward than you would ever be if you didn't choose to be braver. So, choose courage. Choose to be braver. It's the only decision you ever need to make.